Ace of Cups. So the cups are the suit in the tarot that represent our emotions. The aces are always going to mean new beginnings. So whether it's the Ace of Cups, Wands, Swords, or Pentacles, when you see an ace, you know it represents new beginnings. So on our Ace of Cups, this represents love, new interest, love interest, relationships, compassion, and creativity. It doesn't necessarily have to be love. It could be art. It could be your job as well. If you're getting ready to go into some sort of artistic job, theater or something like that, maybe this card would come up in a career reading for your querent. So when you see this card, it's just about overflowing with love. That's what the cups mean. You see the waterfall here. It means giving and not taking, overflowing, abundance, emotion, happiness, tears of joy, things like that you can associate with this card. It can also mean pregnancy depending on what else is around it. So if it came up with the Empress, you may want to look at the other cards around it. It could also mean childhood, pregnancy. So if it's reversed, then it's going to be the opposite. And this one is telling us to focus on ourselves when it comes up reversed. If you see this card reversed, you need to ask a few questions. Do you take care of yourself? Are you giving to yourself first? It's almost like when you're in an airplane and the little oxygen masks come down and they say put yours on first and then assist others. That's kind of how you can remember this card reversed. It's time to focus on yourself. If it's about repression, it could mean that you're repressing your feelings out of fear or judgment. So if you're already in a relationship and you are in love and it's not the beginning of the relationship, if this card were to come up in a reading, it could signify that maybe we need to express ourselves a little more deeply and not be afraid of turning the other person off if we go too deep or if we tell them our deepest, darkest secrets. This one is about getting it off your chest, just not holding up and bottling up emotions. That can really block us up and cause more problems in the end. If you've ever been the victim of the straw that broke the camel's back, when someone does something and it has nothing to do with that moment, but you flip out and go off on them and tell them, you know, about everything they did in 1987, it's because you've been holding all this stuff inside. So this card would come up reversed for you if that were the scenario. We need to bleed our emotions regularly and frequently. Not verbal diarrhea of emotions, but not being repressed. So that is the Ace of Cups, upright and reversed. Two of Cups. This is a fantastic card. This card means relationships, partners, mutual attraction, synergy, connection. This is a great card. This is a complement to the Lover's card if you were to get that. This one just represents that you have a good bond with someone. It's not necessarily always going to turn into a romantic relationship. It could be a job, but there's great energy there. You fit along wonderfully. You get along great. Probably finish each other's sentences. There's great potential there for a wonderful, wonderful partnership. If this was a career reading for a job, it'd mean that that job is a great fit for you. And that would be really exciting to see this card come up. There's a deep connection there and it's a great fit. Now, if it were to come up reversed, then that's just going to tell us that maybe there's some disharmony in the relationship or the job, whatever the situation may be for the reading that you're doing for your querent. You need to also love yourself first before looking for love in someone else. I love that saying. I probably said it in the first video. If you don't heal what cut you, you are going to bleed on people that didn't cut you. Something like that. And that's kind of this card. You need to heal yourself within first before you damage another person. You can't come off too needy and clingy. You've got to heal those issues. If you have abandonment issues, mommy and daddy issues, if this card came up reversed for you, it would be a time to do your shadow work. To really do your shadow work before you ruin this potential relationship, because this card still represents potential and that there is good energy there. But if it's coming up reversed, it might be in a little bit of danger. It also could mean a breakup if you're in a relationship and you are not having a great energy with your partner and you're fighting and there's a lot of disharmony. It could mean a breakup. It doesn't mean it's set in stone. Tarot is only a suggestion. It means that if you keep going down the road you are going without changing anything, this is the most probable cause. So please don't have a heart attack if you get this reversed and think that your lover is going to break up with you. It just means that this could be on the horizon, and it's a great card to get because it gives you a warning so that you can change things and get these turned back right side up. Three of Cups. This is our party card. The Three of Cups means celebrations, friendship, creativity, collaborations, and support. You see here that they're having a great time in the Alice in Wonderland Tarot. Over here, I really am not sure if they're having fun or if they're being spied on. It's very ambiguous. I don't know what's going on over here. But this card basically is about enjoying your friendships. If you have friends that you've been friends with since high school and you're in your 40s, it's about connecting with those people that keep you grounded and remind you who you are. Your best friends, enjoying those times, relishing in those times and those memories. If it were to come up in a business reading, it could mean collaborations, great collaborations, a lot of creativity there, being supported, that you do have friends or you do have a great team behind you if it's for work. And it's just a fun, light card. This is a really good card to get. Now, if it were to come up reversed, it may mean that we need to stop partying. Maybe we need to focus on work, or maybe we need to take some time alone and recollect our energy and our thoughts. We've been spreading it too thin for too long. If it's a relationship reading, it could mean that there's someone else in your relationship. Not always. You have to read the other cards around it. It could also mean that you feel like someone else is intercepting in your relationship. You feel like someone is out of place, or maybe you feel like you are the one out of place, or your lover feels like they're the one out of place. If this came up reversed for work, maybe you don't feel like you fit in on the team that you're in, or maybe your team feels like you don't like them. It could be an array of things. Maybe you're stifled. Maybe you're forced to do something that you don't want to do. Maybe you don't want to be on that team, or you don't want to go to that party, or whatever it is. It could be that you're being forced to do something that you don't want to do. It could also mean that we are ignoring our friends. Maybe it's time for us to reach out to our friends and have fun. We do have support available to us, but we're not taking advantage of it. It really depends on the cards that are surrounding the suit, and that is the Three of Cups. Four of Cups. Our Four of Cups is reminding us to look around us and see the opportunities that are present. If you see here in the Alice in Wonderland Tarot, you have this dolphin here, Skipper or Flipper or whatever his name is, that's doing this amazing trick, and the turtle here is still sad and not even looking around. He has these cups here that he doesn't see, and then he also has this one here. So there's opportunities around him, but he just can't see it because he can't pull himself out of his own funk. You see the sky is gray, but the sun is coming up here, so he's headed towards the sun. The water's choppy, but it is going to push him towards the sun. Eventually things are going to get better, but he's stuck in a funk. Unfortunately, he can't see anything else around himself, and he'd be able to pull himself out of a situation a little bit faster if he were to look around and survey all the options. And this is this card too. I don't feel like this card conveys that as well as this one. Barbara Moore is really on point with a lot of her illustrations for these cards. This is the Cat Black Tarot, beautifully illustrated and using Renaissance art, but sometimes I feel like the translations are a little bit easier with the Barbara Moore Alice in Wonderland Tarot. And if this card were to be reversed, it's just telling us to reflect. We need to check in with ourselves. We need to align. What am I missing? What is around me that I can utilize that would help me get out of this situation? What am I being blind to? What about this situation is my fault? We love to blame other people for the situations that we get in, but we don't want to take responsibility for our own actions. If you are horribly in debt and can't pay your rent and now you're being evicted and your landlord won't give you an extension for the 75th time, but you're pissed off at him and fuck the world, this card would come up for you. No, you need to look at what you've done to get yourself in this situation and take note. That way you can learn your lesson faster. Nobody is trying to have this card come up reversed 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. It's a hard lesson to learn, and when you're in the throes of experiencing this card in your life, you usually are, woe is me, and you're not looking for opportunity because you're feeling so bad. So if you take ownership of those feelings and try to determine what was my contribution to allow myself to get into the situation, you'll get out of it a lot faster. And that's something to consider and think of when we get this Four of Cups reversed. Five of Cups. Five of Cups kind of echoes the same lesson as the previous card, the Four of Cups. So you see here, there are spilled cups that Alice is reaching for, and this gentleman also has spilled cups, and they are kind of toiling over the spilled cups and not looking at the ones that are upright. The Barbara Moore deck shows this more vibrantly. You can clearly see that she's focused on these. We're here, not so much. She's focused on trying to reach these, and she's on her tippy toes and not looking at what's right in front of her. These cups can represent failure, disappointment, mistakes. You're toiling in your head over the mistakes that were made instead of looking for new opportunities to move forward, to heal yourself, to heal the situation. You cannot change the past, and that's what this card is trying to tell us. You can't change the past. So stop replaying in your head what went wrong. He said this, I said this, she said that, and start focusing on how you can move forward to rectify the situation. You do have options. And if this card were to come up reversed, it's also telling us the same thing. Stop looking into the past. If you're wallowing in self-pity over something that happened, it may be time to talk to a friend, talk to a therapist if you need a therapist, but get out of your head and get out of the situation and live in the present. If we're stuck like this, the Five of Cups will come up, and it's telling you got to move on. You have got to move on and process what has happened and accept it. If you have indeed processed what has happened and you've accepted it, this card could be letting you know that it's almost over. You've accepted it. Hindsight is 20/20, as they say, and now you're ready to move on. So this is the Five of Cups. The Six of Cups is showing us walking down childhood memories, walking down memory lane. You see here the child is offering her flowers. Doesn't look like she gives two shits, but he is trying to offer her flowers and give her love and attention. I think she is reading a book instead. Nice. So this card shows it a little bit more vividly. So you have here Alice and the rabbit. He's giving her this wonderful gift. She's accepting it. It's a beautiful garden. It's just happy memories. Thinking about your friends when you were growing up, or how you used to play with your brother and sister, or the playfulness and the beginning of a relationship, or an ex-lover, happiness. These are happy, happy memories. So it's a card of introspection. You are thinking of happy things and reliving happy times, or maybe happier times if you're going through a bad time. It's okay to revisit here, but we don't want to live here. We don't want to live in memory lane, and that would be reversed if we were doing that. We need to pull ourselves out of our head if we're toiling about what happened, what went wrong, or why can't I be happy like I was then? Things were so easy then. I didn't have this stress back then before this or that. Those are some things that can make this card come up. It's okay to process those emotions. Cups are the sign of emotions in the tarot, but we don't want to stay there because we cause ourselves unnecessary suffering if we do. So let's live those memories, accept that it's the past, and figure out how we can bring more joy and happiness into our present and to our future. So this card is, it's okay to reminisce, but we need to move forward. So that is the Six of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a card of opportunities. If you look here in the Barbara Moore deck, you see that Alice has tons of opportunities. She's so excited about it. And you start seeing what they are in here. Everything is different. If you look over here, the Cat Black Tarot deck, this person doesn't look excited at all. This should be a card of excitement with new opportunities and choices. Here, she's kind of like, lay thine eyes here, peasants. Not excited at all. They're just looking. This one doesn't represent it well enough. This one I will say does. So you look in here, you start to see that some of these are undesirable things. No one wants to choose the cup with this dragon monster here or the ghost. Then here you have the dragon as well and the snake. So it's just reminding us that yes, you do have choices, but everything is not what it seems. All that glitters is not gold type of thinking. You want to choose the best thing for your higher self. You don't want to go with the most shiniest, most glittery thing and then realize that it's really a curse and something that is going to jack you up. That could be a new lover. It could be a job. It could be a place. It could be anything. You have to look at the other cards in relation to this. You really need to survey all of your options and lead with your head and not with your heart or your sexual organs or anything like that. This is about choosing the best thing for your true self. If this card were to come up reversed, it's telling us just that. Make sure that we connect with our higher self before we make a choice. If we are overwhelmed, this card would come up reversed too. That you're extremely overwhelmed by all the choices and you don't know which way to move, then you need to start eliminating choices by one process of elimination. So one by one, what do I really want? Is this going to get me what I want? Is this going to get me the pay that I would like? Is this lover, the best suited for me? This is what this card is telling us if it is coming up reversed. It's great to have options, but we don't want to lead with our ego or our libido or anything like that. So really connect with your higher self when you get the Seven of Cups. The Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is symbolizing that there is a lack of fulfillment in a situation, be it a job, a love life, a friendship. There's something missing. So if you look here, you see the way the cards are stacked, there looks like there should be another one right here to make it even. And there's not. So that's a good way to pick that out when you're learning tarot, is that there's something missing. And here the same, it looks like there's a cup missing. Also, if you look at what they're doing, they're walking away. They're walking away from these cups. And we know that cups represent emotions. So walking away from your emotions, not facing them, not dealing with them, giving up hope, throwing in the towel. That's what this card represents. You also see that it's nighttime. You have the creepy little moon here with a face in it. And then here you have the street lights on. Do they have streetlights in Wonderland? I have no fucking clue. But anyhow, it is at night here as well, which means that you may be avoiding confrontation. Maybe there's some guilt or a sense of just, I don't know, you're running away from something. You're running away from something, not wanting to have a confrontation. So this card is definitely telling us that something's wrong. It could also mean that you did have fulfillment. You have a lot of cups here. There's a lot. There's abundance here, but something was missing. So that could mean you had a six-figure job and you went to college for that job. You got it. You're making six figures. When you get there, you realize, I really don't want to be a lawyer. And you walk away and everyone's like, what the hell are you doing? You have the income, you got the office, you got the parking spot, but something's missing. If this were to come up in a relationship, maybe there is a lot of fulfillment there, but something's missing. Maybe the person is really attractive, but they're an idiot. So that would be that missing cup for you. You would have to figure out what's missing in the situation for yourself or for your querent that's making them walk away. It could be possible that this person faces this situation over and over and over again because they don't know what they want. This person could be out of touch with their own reality. And that would be this reversed. Not knowing exactly what's missing, not knowing what you want. It could also be not being willing to confront what you need to confront to have that missing piece. Maybe you need to do some shadow work to figure out what this missing cup is, because no one can figure it out for you. It's okay to walk away from things. If people don't understand it, they don't have to. This is your life. And this is just telling you, you need to figure out what is missing in your life. Figure out why you keep getting these 8 of Cups situations, be it from a job that never fulfills you, a lover that never fulfills you. You know, you may be the type of person that's been in love for the 75th time this year, pissing everybody on your Facebook page off. This would be the card that would come up for you, the 8 of Cups reversed. Why do you keep getting into these situations that are hot and fiery and then they turn cold and you end up having to walk away? There's something missing in you as far as clarity. So that is the 8 of Cups. The 9 of Cups represents fulfillment, happiness. If you look here, I think he's actually smoking a hookah. That's an interesting take on this one. So he has his hose hooked up to 9 cups. He's going to smoke 9 bowls simultaneously. So I guess that would make him very happy. Here in the 9 of Cups in the Cat Black deck, you have the more traditional, the 9 of Cups up here. And then there's abundance. You have the dog. I think that's pomegranate. Just means abundance. Everything that you worked hard for, you have. You have money, you're happy, you're fulfilled. It's time to relish in everything that you've created. This could mean you just got a raise. It's time to enjoy it. Splurge a little, shop, get that massage, maybe buy that nice car that you wanted. It's time to reward yourself and pat yourself on the back for the good work that you have done to get yourself in the situation that you're in. You're now sitting pretty, literally. If this card were to come up reversed, it could mean that we do have this abundance, but something's missing. We're still not happy, just like in our past 8 of Cups. Something's missing. So it could be that we have the nice job and the nice car, but we're not happy. We're not enjoying it. Maybe because we miss our children, because we have to work 70 hours a week to afford those things. Maybe it's time to cut back. Maybe it's time to hop into more action. Maybe you haven't reached success and you haven't reached financial stability and you're not happy and you're still burning and grinding and waiting for your big payoff. That could come up with this card as well. Maybe we need to realign our goals to be able to get there and keep this card upright. Maybe we've had temporary success, but we want more permanent success. So that would be some things that would make this card come up upright. Do we know exactly what's going to make us happy? Sometimes we think it's money, when really it's not money. Maybe it's good health and an amazing social life and great friends to do things with when we want, and the money is keeping us from really achieving what we want because we're working so hard for material things. So it's up for you to decide what makes you happy, and if it's a querent that you're reading, what makes them happy. If they are happy and this card comes up reversed, maybe they're spending too much. It's time to save. It's time to put a slow your roll a little bit. Save for a rainy day. You've indulged enough. So you really need to read this card in relation with the other cards around it. But the 9 of Cups is generally a great card. The 10 of Cups is our happy family card, and they lived happily ever after is what you want to relate to this card. See the beautiful rainbow in the background here. They have their 2 kids. They're happy. Same thing here. Beautiful skies. It just means that everything is wonderful. You communicate with your partner wonderfully. You get along very well. You're in love. You love them. There's lust. There's sex. There's passion. Everything's perfect. Nothing could be better. It really is and they lived happily ever after. This is a great card to get if you're married or if you're in a new relationship. It's a family card. If you're single, it could mean that you're going to spend time with your family and that you do have a loving family. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lover in your life, just happy family. You have a great family. You get along with your parents. You get along with your brother and sister. You have a great grandmother and grandfather. It's a family card, whatever your family may look like. If this card is reversed, it's the yearning for that type of relationship. Maybe there isn't happiness and love and unity and synchronicity and everything that needs to be in a loving and long-lasting relationship. Maybe you're looking for that and it's missing in yours. Maybe it's your fault, maybe it's the other person's fault. This card is calling us to kind of do a little bit of introspection. If we don't have the type of family unit that we would like, how can we attain it? If we do have a family, but our family is dysfunctional, how can we get our family back on track? How can we fix this situation? If we do have a great family and we are happy, but there's something missing, are we neglecting our family? Are we working too hard? Do we need to call off for the weekend and go on a spontaneous ski trip with our kids to let them know that they're loved and that you're there for them? Maybe it's just a lack of support. So the 10 of Cups is the family card. You can easily remember this card by thinking, and they lived happily ever after, and then think about what a happy family unit is, and then do the reverse if it were to come up reversed. The Page of Cups. The Page of Cups you can remember very easily by thinking of the fish and thinking of something coming out of the blue. In this deck I remembered it because her dress is blue, the fish is blue, so I just remembered if something coming out of the blue, being struck with creative inspiration. You have a great idea and it just formulated in your head, you pulled it out of the ether. The Page of Cups is telling you to act upon it. Don't worry about how you're going to make it come true. Just focus on the idea. Focus on that spark of creativity. The page cards mean it has a small window. So when this card comes up, it means that you need to take immediate action. You don't have a lot of time. We all know how fleeting an idea is, or a wave of inspiration after you've been in a funk for so long. It's a spark, a welcome spark, and it could ignite a fire if you act upon it. If you don't, that spark goes out. So this is a great card for opportunities. It could also mean that good news is coming. The pages are messengers. These are the messenger cards. So maybe it's not an idea, maybe it's good news. It could be you're getting a promotion, someone's getting married, someone's pregnant. It's a good card. So when we flip this upside down, we could be stagnant. Maybe we have that idea, but we are not doing anything with this spark. We're going to let it dwindle down and snuff out. Get out of your head and get into action if you get this card, and tell that to your querent. If they do have something that they've been burning to do, do it. This card is telling you to stop worrying about what can go wrong and focus on what makes you happy. If you have that creative intuition, just follow it. Follow it. It didn't come to you for no reason at all. If you think of it, you can achieve it. And if you haven't achieved it, you didn't want to badly enough, because you can be, do, or have anything that you want. So that is the Page of Cups. The Knight of Cups. A good way to remember the Knight cards, or think of knights as always going somewhere. The knight is on a mission. So this card deals with creativity still, just like the last card was telling us that we are inspired and that there is a spark there. This card is taking that spark and doing something with it. So if you did have that spark of creativity, you are doing something with it. Steadily and slowly. The horse is very relaxed, he's not charging, slowly walking towards its destination. See, the horse is walking off the card on both cards, going somewhere. Happy, steady, and calmly. This card, if it were to represent a person, it could be female or male, there's no sex in the cards. That person would be a dreamer, romantic. This is a good person to have a relationship with that's committed, but they may not be the alpha type. This person's probably submissive. They're not going to take charge. They are your knight in shining armor, but they're not alpha at all. Still sweet, still kind, still steady, still able to work out problems. They are communicative, but they're not aggressive. They're very passive. Again, the slowness of the card. The horse is slowly walking, and that's the pace of that. And that would be the pace of this person also. Very passive, kind of go with the flow, moving, but slowly. And if this card were reversed, could mean inaction. We're not taking action to bring forth our dreams or our relationships, or maybe this person is stuck. If this card represents a person, our knight in shining armor is a little stuck. Maybe we're the knight in shining armor. Maybe we're hesitant on moving forward. We're still kind and we're still caring, but we are stuck, inactive. This card could also mean, if you have not focused in on what it is exactly that you want to do, you could be in a little bit of confusion. Also, emotionally, if this card is upside down, remember how charming and sweet and Casanova-ish it is upright. If this card is upside down, this person could be a little irritated. Doesn't mean that their character has changed. Maybe something changed in the situation. Maybe they're experiencing a little jealousy or a little apathy. Anything that has to do with the emotions, it's fleeting. So it's not permanent, but it's asking us to look inside. So if this represents a person, maybe this person's having a little difficulty right now, but it will pass. And if it's us, if we are jealous or irritated or moody or argumentative, this card would come up for us, and we would have to relate it to the other cards around it to see what's going on. You just need to ask yourself, what is going on? What's going on with this person or this situation that is making this card come up reversed? The Queen of Cups is our mother card again. She's the master of her emotions. She's a mother figure. People confide in her. If you look here, you see that she's sitting on the beach, but her feet are not in the water. And she's very, very aware of her emotions and the nature of this scene. You see here all the water, there's the waves, it's smoother here. She's aware and capable of processing all emotions, but she's not going to be swept up by it. She's too far in on the land to be swept up in a frenzy of emotions or a storm. She is a rock. She's very stable. So this would be the type of person that you can tell anything to. If this is you in the card, it would be, it kind of symbolizes that you're the type of person that everybody wants to talk to. Strangers tell you their whole life story because they just sense something about you that you care. Maybe you're an empath. This is the sign of mastering your emotions. This person is unbothered. They are stable, and they follow their heart and their mind. They follow their subconscious. They're very connected and very grounded. Now, if this card were to be reversed, then we would think that we are emotional. We're overly emotional, and we need to ground ourselves. Maybe we need to pull back from people's drama. Maybe we need to shut down and save our energy and protect our energy and get out of everybody else's business. Maybe we need to set boundaries of, I'm here for you, but I can't be involved in this anymore. Maybe you need to check your own emotions. Are you overly emotional and leading from your heart and your ego and not listening to your higher self? So those are the questions that the Queen of Cups reversed calls us to answer, or for our querent to answer. Our King of Cups is the final card in this suit. And the King of Cups is our father figure. He is emotionally balanced as well. He's in control of his emotions. And you see here that he's in the middle of a turbulent sea, and he's able to keep his shit together. So he doesn't get angered easily. This person is someone that you can just go off on, and they're able to withstand your moodiness and your mood swings or whatever, and they're not going to react to it. They're unbothered. This person is very, very, very good in high stress situations. You see here that he has a cup. These are his emotions, but he's not focused on that. His head is in the game. So it doesn't mean that this person doesn't have any emotions. They are in full control of them. They're usually focused on other things. Emotions and long talks about, feelings and things are not something you can really expect from this person. They're able to comprehend it, but that's not their focus. This is a very logical person and very well balanced. person. This person is a rock. You can talk to them about things, but they don't live there like the Queen of Cups. This is not the person that you're going to come pour your soul out to in the grocery store. And if this were to come up reversed, watch out. Again, father figure, fiery temper. So if this person, if this is a person and this person is you or a lover, this person could get upset. This person has triggers and hot buttons, and they are not afraid to let you know it. This turbulent water would be them going off. They don't have control of their emotions, and they can't stand stress. They're not well balanced. So this person is not the one you want to come at emotionally. You don't want to argue with this person. You want to be logical with this person. If you need to disagree with them, you don't want to scream at them and yell at them, because they're just going to yell and scream right back. This means danger. See this water here? If this is reversed, it means do not try it. You have to be logical and calm with this type of person in this type of situation. If this card is you and it comes up reversed, it could just be telling us to really kind of calm down. Look at our triggers. Look at how we can react better. Are we throwing tantrums unnecessarily? Can we calm our shit down a little bit if this card is reversed? Are we using our outbursts to manipulate people? Do we make people feel guilty when they call us on our shit? Are we a narcissist? There's a lot of questions that you can ask when you get the King of Cups reversed. This is a really good card to kind of say, wait a second, I know I'm better than this, because upright, this card is great. It has a great significance of stability. You know, you saw him looking at cards in his hand like his head was in the game, even though he's in the middle of a tsunami on a IKEA chair. He's still unbothered and not sweating at all. That is a possibility for you if you are balanced. So the King of Cups upside down is not necessarily a bad card. We just want to get it back upright. We don't want it reversed. We don't want to be volatile. We don't want to be petty and irritable. So those are some things that you can consider and go over with your querent when you get the King of Cups reversed.